Back here on the herd, Jason Mcintyre filling in for Cowherd. A little under the weather, got sick in the first quarter, and so Mark Sanchez has a good analogy. My guy, Mark Sanchez, former Jets quarterback. The audience doesn't know this, Mark, but Jason once owned one of those Jets T-shirts that said Sanchez on the back with 6.
Sanchez or Sanchez?
Sanchez. Well, it said Sanchez, but I called it Sanchez.
Okay, I'll take that. I just want to make sure you're prepped and ready to go. This is why you get reps during the week.
Yeah,
Jason.
yeah, definitely.
When the starter goes down with a hammy, you got to step up.
Did that ever happen to you?
The hopes, dreams, and aspirations of this entire production today, the herd, relies on you, buddy. It rests on your shoulders.
No pressure whatsoever, right?
So let's go, baby. Yeah. Come on. I hope you're excited.
All right. We'll
get
that
started. Scared look off your face, man.
It happened just to me. Always makes me laugh. He's just goofing around.
It happened to me. We were in Houston. Nick Foles goes down. Chip Kelly was our offensive coordinator, and he had me coming off the sidelines just launching the ball down the field.
First play. Macklin?
First play to J-Mac. Yep. J-Mac. Look at that. And that was
that was your first play?
Very first play I went in, like coming off the bench cold, shooting 3-pointers. I was like, Coach, can we get like a naked bootleg? Can I get like an easy little handoff, whatever? 2 plays later, we had a timeout, and we run zone read, which isn't my favorite to do because I'm not fast. And right after that, it was not only zone read. So there's like 3 different types, right? You can read the linebacker level, you could read the defensive end, or sometimes you can read an interior tackle. And Coach Kelly is in my ear during the timeout saying, hey, we're running 99 toga. You got to read the 3 technique. Okay. Basically, flat path zone. And if you keep it because that defensive lineman is unblocked and attacks the halfback, you just run straight. He reminded me right before I walked in the huddle, hey, it's 99 toga. Read the 3 technique. That's number 99, J.J. Watt, by the way.
Oh,
I was like, nice.
So what happened on the play?
Any more great calls? Oh, yeah, well, I kept it regardless because that was kind of like I thought he was like trying to challenge me, like I was scared to read him or something. You know?
Funny. You still remember the playbook and all that stuff?
I remember a lot of it.
That's
Some
crazy.
guys can, like, McVay's got that photographic memory. Other players I played with have an even better photographic memory. And then there's, some entire seasons where you're like, did I even play for that team? Where was I?
I can't remember what I had for lunch a week ago.
Yeah, but you're sweating bullets up there, man. Come on. You've hosted this show before. The desk is the same
sweaty,
size.
There's
no more cameras anywhere. This is like a Pete Carroll thing. It's all the same, man.
All right. First of all, Sanchez is obviously a great Fox Sports analyst, and he's going to break down why the Eagles are going to win. No, I'm just kidding. Let's start with the Chiefs. They've won 2 in a row. I don't want to say like house money rolling in, but they've done this before. This is old hat for them. They're just rolling up to the Super Bowl. No pressure. What do you think their mindset is this week?
Well, I think for them, they have this luxury of doing it before. I think they have so much continuity with their system, with the players who've been in their system. So when you bring on these additions, whether it's mid-year at receiver trying to solve that problem, you got that guy, Patrick Mahomes. He's the eraser. So number one, you got to deal with Andy Reid and this system he's created. And they're going to be in some pretty good spots. They're going to have some great plays. They're going to have some tough concepts for you to defend, make you think. Then you got to deal with that guy, the eraser, number 15. And if for some reason Andy Reid puts this offense in a bad situation, that guy will change the play, get you into a good play, or he will do something with his legs and make a new play out of that original play and extend it, or he's got the intelligence to know, I'm not going to give this thing away. I'm going to make that team work for it. They won 17 straight one-score games.
Yeah, not bad.
They went 8 games in a row without turning over the football. That's an NFL record. Nobody's ever done that. So you got to deal with their system, the continuity, the people they've had around. Andy Heck, the O-line coach that they have, I mean, that guy should be one of the assistant coaches of the year. To do what they're doing on the left side of their line with Tooney, he's one of the best guards in the league. It's like him, Nelson, Zach Martin. The guy's making has an $80 million contract to play left guard, not left tackle.
Yeah.
He's the 4th option at left tackle. That is not his position. And then Caliendo has to move into guard. You realize how hard that is
it's interesting
to make that happen?
Do you think that they consider moving him back from tackle inside with the Jalen Carter wrecking teams?
That was where this conversation I figured would go. And if it's Carter and Davis inside, I mean, that is That's a problem. They're in a good spot with Humphrey, the center. He's one of the best in the league. Yeah. And then Trey Smith is going to his first team All-Pro, I believe, at right guard. But it used to be the law firm of Tooney, Humphrey, and Smith in there in the middle, and those A-gaps were protected. And then Mahomes can do what he has to do on the edge. And then they've switched out some tackles. Jawan Taylor comes over from Jacksonville, whatever it is. So you create and construct this line the right way. You built it inside out. Well, now, the way they've had to shuffle guys on the left side, Carter and Davis, that's a problem now. That's a major problem. And shout out to Clint Hurt. He's the defensive line coach there in Philly. Vic Fangio. Let's talk about that defense in general. Remember when they got bounced out of the playoffs in the wild card last year?
Tampa?
Demoralizing, embarrassing. He got those guys to really play. Those D tackles, I believe it was Carter, last year only played like half the snaps. This year he's almost doubled it. He's playing almost every down. I mean, where did that come from? Somebody obviously had to light a fire under that guy's rear end, and he's really playing. So it's a testament to Vic Fangio, the defense, the coaching staff that they've assembled, and I cannot wait to watch this matchup. That's going to be fun.
It also feels like the Eagles' defense, better defense than the Bills, without question. I just wonder, like, the Super Bowl last time they met, it was Kadarius Toney had a couple splash plays. Yeah. Last year, Rashee Rice had a pretty good Super Bowl, if memory serves. This year, we don't know who it's going to be. Hollywood Brown?
I know. Gray? And it always seems to be that, right? Whether it's Pacheco finally catches fire. You know, he went down early with the rib injury. They missed him most of the year. The running game has been, below average this entire season. And they were hoping for that spark when he came back. They put in Kareem Hunt. Okay, boom, he gives them a little juice, but he's not the Kareem Hunt when he led the league in rushing, a few years back. So how do you come up with the play? What's the play that's going to turn the tide? It's like a Noah Gray in the backside because they double Kelsey. And they got a double Hopkins or somebody. And boom, there goes Noah Gray one-on-one. And makes the play. I feel like that's where this game kind of ends up.
I think Ertz had 11 catches against the Eagles in the conference championship game. They've struggled against tight ends. They lost one of their linebackers for the season. So
Nakobe Dean,
Dean, yes. I do wonder if there's, and if you're looking at it from a gambling perspective, an opportunity for Noah Gray, 2 touchdowns.
Sure, for like all those prop bets.
Kelsey with like alt spreads, like they could go crazy in the middle of the field.
I mean, it could be a huge day for tight ends. And you got to remember, C.J. Gardner-Johnson can cover those tight ends. Number 8, their safety. He can cover. He can play center field. He'll hit you. He ain't afraid to play man-to-man. And they're going to show you. I mean, Vic Fangio's system earlier, remember, the sky was falling in Philadelphia. Everybody wanted Sirianni out. These guys suck. Get them out of here. We could find a better coach on Broad Street. They were going nuts until the bye week. And this team figured some stuff out. They put their guys in better positions, inserted Cooper DeJean, a rookie. Rookie playing nickel. Are you kidding me? In the NFL, dude, that is so hard. That's one of the hardest positions to play as a rookie, and he's playing great. Bradbury goes down, and now we know who Quinyon Mitchell is, and we know that he went to Toledo. Shout out to the Rockets. Like, where did this guy come from? And that's a tough sucker now. So you got 2 rookies playing at a high level. You got a guy who can cover tight ends, at least one of them, if they're going to go man-to-man. But Vic Fangio's system, they played a lot more single high. Go watch the Brazil game against the Packers. A ton of single high, a lot more man-to-man. Now it's split safety. They're keeping everybody on top, death by 1,000 paper cuts. And we're going to make sure Davis, Carter, one of these guys, Zach Bond, all-pro year. Where'd that guy come from? He was a special teamer the last 2 teams he's been on, right? And now he's having a Pro Bowl type year, first team All-Pro.
No, it's funny you mentioned Bond. Let me ask. So we're already concerned about the middle of the field and the tight ends, but Patrick Mahomes just had one of his best running games ever in his career against the Bills. Do you spy Mahomes at this level?
So that's part of the deal, right? Like when, if you remember the play to De'Ami Brown, Brady was calling the game in the championship game, but he talked about cover one plug. And basically, there's a guy in the middle of the field, and as a plugger, everybody else is man-to-man, outside leverage, and you have a free safety deep playing center field, watching everything, helping on deep balls. Well, the plugger has a responsibility to either old-school Detroit Pistons, you run through the key, you run through the middle of the field, boom, within 5 yards, you're getting a shoulder, you're getting an elbow, I'm knocking you off your track. So you hit all those crossing routes basically underneath. Or you tell that guy, watch the quarterback. Watch the quarterback, because if they play that game within the game and he's got to spy him, now he can't help on some of those crossers. Now that outside leverage is compromising, because when you run to the middle with somebody on your outside, the plugger's there to help you. This could be the back and forth kind of game. So I don't know if Fangio really wants to go into that. Like, why play one plug when we can have all eyes on the quarterback?
Pete Carroll is going to the Raiders. Chip Kelly is his new OC, highest paid OC in the game. I don't know, your initial thoughts. They still don't have a quarterback, but still, it seems like a good move.
I think that's going to be their biggest issue together. I've played for both of these coaches and how eerily similar they are. And I guess the only analogy I can use is when somebody says, 6 one way, half a dozen the other. Like, that's how closely they align when it comes to their mentality, their approach, their positivity, the fact that they, respect the psychological prep to the game, the way they can motivate you to be your best version of yourself and to take away any kind of performance anxiety. I've never been around two coaches that pour themselves into that. I mean, Pete was a psychology major from University Pacific, so he knows how to connect with anybody. And Chip, I mean, he talks to more military people, more motivational speaker type people. He had so many people come through that aligned with our values. Look at young Sanchez. Holy smokes, probably 30 pounds lighter. Oh, my God. But, yeah, I think this could be a pretty special marriage there. And it was actually funny on the way up today when I saw the news and was listening to the show. I texted both of them in the same group chat. And I said, never in my life did I ever think I was going to send both of you a message on the same thread. Fired up for you guys. Good luck.
So real quick,
cool.
What do you think they do at quarterback? Do you think they make a play for Sam Darnold, who you're familiar with? Do they go Kirk Cousins?
I would not be shocked if they went after one of those veterans. Think about when they got Russell Wilson.
Yes.
Remember who else they had?
Yep.
Remember who else they had? Did Hasselbeck say this?
Well, Hasselbeck mentioned Tavares Jackson and Flynn, who they got from the Packers.
Right.
Yeah.
So they paid him a bunch of money, thought he might be the guy, and then Russ beat him out.
Yeah.
So, okay, fine. But you got to have a veteran presence there, whether that's Darnold, Cousins. Do not, and I know what you're going to say.
Oh, here we go.
Do not sleep on Daniel Jones. Wherever that guy goes, if he lands in the right spot, that would be one of the best places for him with that head coach. He has all the ability in the world. That kid would be dialed there.
Wow, that's a hot take.
I love that possibility.
All right, so Wes, you got to clip that off. Daniel Jones, Raiders.
Daniel Jones, the Raiders.
From a guy who was just texting the offensive coordinator and head coach of the Raiders. All right, let's get to the Chiefs. Oh, boy, these guys.
Are you getting tired of them?
I'm very tired of them.
Why?
We need new meat in there. Come on, Eagles.
You're witnessing greatness.
Yeah, this is greatness, and Sanchez has a play here he's going to break down. I won't steal the thunder, but listen, this is genius-level stuff from an amazing franchise.
They're putting on a master class, and it goes back to when times get tough, you got to have it in a specific situation. You go back to your fundamentals. You go to what works. In the words of Chip Kelly, you don't suddenly rise to some occasion. You don't suddenly have new abilities in these crucial moments. You sink to the level of your preparation. So if you prepare the right way, you'll be prepared for any situation. And if you're not, it's something new. Oh, my God, what's going on? Well, what do I do best? What do I know? Watch these guys. This is an illusion of sophistication. They're going to shift to a formation, a little bunch formation, and they usually run this play called mesh. Everybody in the league runs it. These guys have probably run it 40 to 50 times. Mahomes is diagnosing this. I guarantee you he has the option to kill this play. But when he sees that it's man-to-man and these backers are talking, who's going to guard Samaje Perine? If Perine goes left, the left backer has him, Bernard. If he goes right, Milano has him. So the tackle knows we're switching up our play. If anything, let this D lineman beat me outside. I'm going to short set it because the back's going to run right through that B gap in between the left tackle and the left guard. And this is a man-to-man beater, okay? The original play that they run all the time is mesh. They run the counter to mesh, but this is what mesh is. The back's out first, he's on the rail route. It's Kelsey's job to go pick for the other shallow, two ships passing in the night, and then you got the guy sitting over the ball, and then a backside in route. and you basically work like a sprinkler across the lawn. The back, shallow, over the ball, shallow, in route. Well, if the back release like this up the field on the rail route, Milano's got to get him. But what do we say? We show you something, we present you something, we take it away and hit you with the counter. Everything else looks almost identical. On this play, they switch up a couple routes, send the back going the opposite direction, and watch how much traffic Bernard has to figure out, oh boy, back's coming my way, I got to get him. Look what he has to fight through. Are you kidding me? I mean, this is a third down, gotta have it situation. We run mesh all the time. They're going to be in man-to-man coverage. Let's give him the counter. We know what to do, boys. And he's got to cover this guy through all that trash. I mean, that looks like traffic on the 405, man. You're backed up for hours. This guy's got no shot.
Oh.
And they don't hit the guy because they know the rules. They execute it properly. And you give him an accurately thrown ball. You see what I mean? There's so many boxes you have to check to get that play off and executed correctly. But it starts with Andy Reid, man. The way he's kept that team together, the way he presents something, gives you the counter, the illusion of sophistication. They know what to do in crucial moments.
I know you're a quarterback, but if I'm the defense and I see what they're cooking up, was there any way for them to quickly pivot to zone after what's his name went in motion?
I mean, if you're going to have,
that just too confusing?
A lot of times you can go like Vilma talked to me a lot about this. One of our great broadcasters, he talked about when you play quarterbacks that are at this level, like when the Saints won the Super Bowl, they would have auto checks. Defenses generally have auto checks. If you're in a balanced 2x2 set, 2 receivers here, 2 receivers here, you're playing a specific coverage. If you motion to 3x1, so there's 3 on one side, one guy on the other side, they'll have an auto check. Okay, we're not going to play that coverage to 3x1. We'll get roasted. Let's switch it over to this. There's basic ones. But then there's game plan specific ones where, hey, we want to show this look. We want them to think it's zone, and here comes the heat. We're going to man-to-man this guy. At the last second, we're going to run over, or boom, you'll see the backers lining up in the A-gap. Oh, boy, we're getting pressure up the middle. The quarterback goes, oh, hey, bring the tight end in. We need more help. Halfback, you got this guy. We're ready. Boom, we got to snap it. And you see the backers, hands check, and it just goes to cover 2, some sort of easy zone call that they can play. They know they can run it in their sleep. So that's going to be a big, big deal for Zach Bond, for Vic Fangio, to have those, checks in order based on what Andy Reid is presenting them formationally, personnel-wise.
One more before I get to Myles Garrett. Vic Fangio tendencies, Reid. I'm going to be looking into this week, but do you know if historically Fangio has been a problem for Reid and his offenses? And does he bring anything to the table that might mess with the Chiefs?
I'm almost positive it's either versus Mahomes or Reid, but I don't know if he's won or he's like, because he was in his division, right, in Denver? That's right. Yeah. So I want to say he's like 1-6 or 0-6 or 1-7.
Great.
It's the record isn't great, but with the defense he's using now, like these players, and, the guy's going to learn from all those experiences. I mean, who else in the division gave the Chiefs problems? Like, the Raiders beat them once on Christmas. Like, okay, they're kind of one-offs. You know what I mean? They're little blips on the radar. It's not a pattern of behavior that you witness with the Chiefs. They've owned that division. So it's not like, Vic can't do it. I think they're going to have to be on, and they're going to have to find a way to generate a turnover. You got to generate an extra possession, whether that's the special teams game, a return for a touchdown, or a big return that guarantees you points. That's the kind of game within the game. Those hidden points, stolen possessions. That's where these things usually end up.
2 rookies in the secondary against Mahomes scares me. Real quick, so Myles Garrett, I floated Washington as a team that makes sense. If I'm the Browns, I don't want him in the AFC. Washington makes sense. Quarterback on a rookie deal. Defense needs a little work. And I floated the Rams because simply they are always willing to take big swings, it feels like. Your
That'd
thoughts
be a big
on
one. The Rams would be a big one.
I don't know if they have enough.
Yeah, I don't know
for it.
I don't know what the situation is financially for these teams to be able to do something like that. And I think it's unlikely that the Browns let him go.
Really?
What? Like,
he wants out. Move on.
Okay, well then don't sign the contract then. Don't play here. Like, come on. It goes.
Things changed, I mean, I don't remember when he signed his deal, but
I don't know. I mean, if I'm them, I'm trying to figure out a way to keep him there. He's too good.
You're not winning anything with him.
But if we play the hypothetical game of him going somewhere else, that's a plug-and-play guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like a transcendent player. He can play in any system just about. And when you lay your head on the pillow as an offensive coordinator, you want to know who the hell is blocking this guy. We got to have the tight ends help. We got to have the running backs help. Somebody's got to take a piece of them. We can't let them just, drop back 50 times and make our tackle block this guy all game long. He's a problem. And any defense would be lucky to have him. He's a plug-and-play player. He can go anywhere.
All right, Super Bowl score. Hasselbeck was reluctant. You got one yet, or are you saving it?
No, I'm going to be on the show Thursday, so we'll save it. I got to study a little more tape, man. I got to make sure I know.
Change your mind, something you see on film.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.